But yeah, everyone, my name is Muir. This is TJ's route in the Echo series. Kaiser is currently preoccupied at the moment and is unable to accompany us. He also does not seem to enjoy this route so much, but it's a route that circles around Twink, so I don't really understand what the big problem is. And let's go ahead and get on into it and see what happens, and see why he doesn't like it so much.
Indeed, let's get into it.
Alright, I stand there next to my chair, undecided. Let's go find TJ. I'm really worried about TJ. He's a sensitive guy, and after a tongue lashing like that from someone like Flynn, I can't imagine what state he's in. I don't see him anywhere as I scan the area, but I do see some trees and bushes further up along the riverbank. Since there's really no other place to hide, I assume that's where he's at. Sure enough, I see him immediately. He's sitting down, knees drawn up with his arms folded on top of them. He's got his forehead resting on top of his arms, staring down at the sand between his legs. I stand there for a moment, wondering if it will just be better to leave him alone. After a few seconds, I finally decide to sit down next to him, cross-legged. His ears flick in my direction, and he turns his head to the left, away from me. And there's a few wet spots between his feet. Maybe he just wants to be left alone now?
Should we say something, say nothing, or leave him be? I don't really want to leave him be.
Nah, leaving him be would be kind of mean.
Yeah.
He's going through. Go and see how he's doing.
Yeah, okay, let's talk. Let's say something.
I decide that I need to break the silence. Yeah, I think I'm doing Chase because Kaiser isn't here.
Yeah.
Hey, TJ! He doesn't say anything or move. You know how Flynn is? Again, silence. Everyone, no one's mad at you. He does move then, sliding his legs out straight and leaning back on his paws. He's still looking away from me, rubbing his face on his shoulder. You want to go back and eat? Finally.
I can't believe he did that. In front of everyone.
I'm not sure what to say, so I stay quiet. After a minute, TJ finally turns his head, looking into the river. The wind picks up, reflections from the river highlighting motes of dust that swirl up around us. His face fur is a bit mussed up, spiked up in a few places from being wet. It's an unusual sight It's an unusual sight to see his fur unkempt.
I mean, what the heck?
TJ, unable to curse, even though it would probably be the best thing for him. He adjusts his legs to sit cross-legged like me and wipes his face again.
Did you know what he was talking about?
I take a deep breath, unsure about how I should approach this. I think so? TJ's ears lower. Listen, no one else thinks anything happened. We were so little, especially you. I mean, I can't believe he's doing this. I trace a claw through the dirt, drawing some wavy patterns as I try to make sense of all this myself. I think it's just because he was such good friends with Sydney, and he just wants more than the truth. I look sideways at TJ. He's just sitting there. He's just sitting there. Menacingly. He's just
Scowling.
sitting there. He's just sitting there, looking at the ground. And I guess you were the only one that saw him. Saw what happened. So he only has you to go after.
I saw him drown.
I don't say anything, but I feel myself cringe inwardly. Pretty soon tears are running down TJ's face, but he doesn't bother to wipe them away. He's not just sad, though. He's angry. I hear it in his voice as he goes on.
I saw Sydney drown, and Flynn thinks he's the only one that hurts? He thinks that he's the only one that feels like he's in a nightmare? Maybe.
His voice cracks and he looks away from me again, wiping his face.
Maybe I haven't told him everything because I don't want him to have those images in his head.
TJ takes a moment to steady his voice, working to get his breathing back to normal.
I just wish I could go back to that day.
TJ, there's nothing you could have done. I know my words are meaningless crap, and I hate myself for saying them, but I have to say something. Not one of us would have been able to do anything if we were there.
You would have.
Well,
Besides, I already know I couldn't have saved him on my own. That isn't what...
TJ takes a moment to wipe his face again, and when he's done, he doesn't go on. We sit in silence for a long while after that, and I adjust myself so that I can lean back against a rock behind me. I pat the ground. Sit next to me, Tej. He's calmed down for the most part, and after a moment, he does crawl over to sit by me. I pick up a few pebbles and toss them into the river. Remember when we used to call it Seawater River? Seesaw River?
Yeah.
He leaves it at that, so I drop it. I rest my head back and close my eyes, only then realizing how tired I am. In some way, I can see why Flynn is so suspicious, or at least why he believes there's more to the story. There clearly is. As we saw in last round. But while I do want TJ to tell me more about what happened, I could never bring myself to ask him. I honestly feel that if I ever want to help him and with his past, I should probably come to terms with it myself. I crinkle my brow, toying with the idea of going back. It's something I actively avoid thinking about. We all do. But, like Jenna said, maybe talking about it, thinking about it, might actually help. I dig my fingers into the pebbles on either side of me. The images come in a quick flurry, like someone cycling through a Viewmaster too fast. The sky is getting cloudy, the air crisp. Autumn. TJ sitting in a daze, Jenna running back to town, Flynn pulling me into the water, me grabbing onto neck scruff, pulling back to shore. Carl sitting on a rock, bawling. Leo starts trying to do compressions. And Sydney just stares. Sirens, the helicopter rotors, adults everywhere. I'm home. Mom's holding me. Dad puts on my favorite movie, my watch. Still, Sydney stares. I open my eyes again and the world is blurred. The light reflecting off the river makes me squint. I rub my eyes at the back of my paw and it comes away wet. Chest hurts and so does my head, throbbing and buzzing. I look over and, luckily for me, TJ is leaning back with his eyes closed like I was. If revisiting that day is so horrible for me, I can't imagine what it's like for him. I decide right then and there that I'm not going to press TJ on what happened. If he wants to tell me more, he'll do it on his own accord. I kind of want to swim again, but at the same time I don't. They really about water.
He's ruining the whole trip.
TJ speaks suddenly, and I look over at him. Flint? No, he hasn't. TJ does finally look at me, then and I'm struck by how disheveled and sad he looks. I feel anger bloom in my chest, all of it directed at Flynn. What a selfish, thinking that he had the right to ruin everyone's good time just because he felt like shit. If he were here right now, I'm pretty sure I'd punch him right in the gut. Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
He looks kind of big.
Bigger than Chase.
Not bigger than Leo, but he looks bigger than Chase.
Yeah, Gila monsters are typically pretty small in reality, but they're and much smaller than otters. But in this game, kind of the other way around.
He sort of worked through his trauma by just lifting weights and being angry at people and being a functionary of the town.
Yeah. Oh, and he needs protein.
Yeah, that's right. Not the kind you can get from Chase, though. All right. Listen. We don't all need to hang out to have fun. We had fun at the park with just you and me and Carl, remember? If Flynn wants to be a douchebag, then let him. We'll do our own thing. TJ sniffs, and I see his tucked ears perk up a little. Didn't you want to go hike the trail? TJ smiles at that and looks back at me.
You didn't want to hike, I could tell.
I grin. That's because it's so friggin' hot, but seriously, we didn't come here to lay in a motel all week.
And we can bring water. Just dump it on yourself every half hour. That's how I manage, along with taking plenty of breaks.
DJ leans back and spreads his legs out. I can see he's starting to get excited at the prospect of hiking, and that makes me feel better. Well, if you're able to do it, I guess I shouldn't complain. I look over at his fluffy form, which by itself is enough to make me sweat even more than I already am. I always thought you'd go back after you graduated high school.
Hmm?
The Great White North. I mean, the Great White North.
No, you should say it as like the introductory character and narrator of Elden Ring. The Great North.
we gotta giddy in this. The Great White No. I say it dramatically, nodding upwards as if that's where it is. Your parents did? DJ's family moved to Echo when he was only 6 from the small town called Wasatchua. Wasatchua? Is that
Sounds right.
Is that British? I mean, not British. Is that Canadian or is that still in America?
Well, he said it's the. I think he said it's the Great North, so I'm assuming it's either Canadian or it's like one of the top northern states, so like Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Or like Alaska, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe Alaska too.
So I was just thinking, why is it called Canada when the adjective is Canadian? Shouldn't it be Canada?
It should be Canadian. But
then they can link themselves to Cadia and everybody be terrified of them.
Arcadia.
Doesn't that mean that Canada will explode at some point?
I don't know, but according to South Park, we can just blame Canada for all of our woes.
This is very true. Economic woes, blame Canada. Economic prosperity, blame Canada. Wait a minute.
Trump, blame Canada.
Okay. His dad got a job in Echo to survey the land or do something with the wildlife. I can't really remember exactly what it was. Oh, well. Ah, that's
me. Oh, well, I don't really remember it. But I might after I graduate. They they have some things up there that sound really nice.
Free healthcare? Yeah, it's Canada.
It's Canada. That settles it.
Country like America.
You moved to hell from heaven? What's wrong with you?
Why
People
did
are
you do
weird.
that? Half of this country's smart. Half of this country's intelligence level is to vote for Trump. Okay, let's not get super political here. But
Yeah, let's
we
not get
we
too
obviously
political.
we obviously
We
obviously have
skew-
opinions.
we obviously skew to the left.
Yeah.
Ha! That, I guess, and snow.
For a moment, I wonder if snow is to the link. For a moment, I wonder if snow is to a lynx as water is to an otter. A lot of snow did sound kind of exciting to me, though. Here, we'd be lucky to see a single dusting of it every year.
So, you're serious about hiking with me?
Of course! I'm gonna bring some of my equipment, too. I think I want to get some shots of the canyon.
Okay.
He waggles his furry feet back and forth, and I hide a grin at his enthusiasm.
All right. So, we're going to have to get up around 6.
Oh.
I want to be able to make it to the canyon for lunch, where we can rest for an hour or two. Then...
You can tell how excited TJ is by how much he talks. Well, if anyone's good at planning things out at a ridiculously meticulous level, it's TJ. We sit there for another 20 minutes or so and just talk, mostly about school and what our plans are once we graduate. I promise TJ that we'll meet up again before I do. What?
What?
I promise TJ that we'll meet up again before I do. It just sounds weird. That's when I get a text from Jenna asking where we are. I stand up, brushing off my pants before reaching down to help TJ up. Well, we better go back. Guess they're all wondering where we are. When we get back, everything's packed and in the van, along with Carl and Jenna. Leo's leaning against the van, waiting for us, his paws in his pockets. He looks at me, then over at TJ, obviously trying to gauge his mood.
Everything good? Yeah.
TJ answers before I can, and whether or not he actually is okay, he sounds happy enough.
Well, all right then.
We get into the van, and at that point, no one is saying anything as we make our short drive back to the motel. As we get out, Leo tells us all that he's going to have a word with Flynn, and despite the spoiled afternoon, we still had stuff to do over the week. I'm not too convinced myself what will happen. I'm not too convinced myself that will happen. I'm convinced that it's gonna be awkward. Leo leaves for work at this point, though Carl does end up coming with us to the motel room. The rest of the day is pretty uneventful. We watch a few movies, then go to the diner for dinner. Afterwards, we just sit in the room and talk, Carl filling us in with how things have been in the town over the past 3 years. It's not long before the conversation drifts back to Flynn and his outburst. I think he's just antsy because he's realizing without you guys. Trust me, he's already kicking himself for it right now.
Even if he is, it doesn't mean anything unless he apologizes.
You know how he is, Jenna. He's sorry even if he won't say it.
I don't care. He's going to have to realize that none of us have to put up with him anymore. Hey, why don't we all get some ice cream? I've been wanting to go to Ray's ever since we got here.
It's hard to tell if TJ is just trying to change the subject or actually wants to go for ice cream. Probably both. Heh. If you want to drive half an hour to Peyton, sure.
What? Why?
They moved it there. It sucks, but I haven't had their rocky road for a year now.
Aww. Well, let's just stop by when we go to Peyton next. I assume they aren't staying in Echo for the rest of the trip. Oh, Chase, can you take us?
And just smile at him from my spot on the couch. Sure. Why not?
Yes! I love the cookie dough. What about you, Jenna?
Jenna's busy looking at her phone.
Hmm? Oh, well, I've always enjoyed their butter almond. It's hard to find that flavor anywhere else.
TJ looks at me and I open my mouth to answer. But for a moment, I draw a blank. The memories of Ray's are hazy and blurred. My head is still buzzing. Vanilla. Been feeling pretty that talk with TJ by the river. Make a mental note to steal some of Jenna's aspirin before I go to bed. Well, Flynn was right about one of us at least.
Carl!
What's wrong with that? Everyone likes vanilla. I grin even though Carl's comment hurts me more than it should. It's just joking after all. But I mean, who loves it, right? Personality of a rock.
I think it's funny that that's like everyone pins Chase for being just dull and plain as fuck, and then he's like, "Vanilla's my favorite." Everyone knows it's like
Everyone else is
plainest.
like, yep,
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 like a rock.
yep. Chase, your favorite things in life are looking at the blue sky, watching the clouds roll by, seeing
No,
a
that's actually
sunrise, seeing a
no,
sunrise
that's.
every now and again.
I think that's more of a TJ thing. I think Chase's whole thing is watching the current flow by in the river. I think it's more watching paint dry.
watching iron rust. You know, the usual.
Yeah. Especially since he's from Echo. Yeah, watching Iron Rust. Yeah.
He's like, "Wow, check the." He just walks in. He's like, dudes, come out. You got to see this. And they just walk out. There's just a train. He's like,
Yeah. He goes out to a train. He takes a picture of it every single day, and it's just like a daily progression of how much more rust there is. It's like, Chase, you could be really good at discovering new planets if you were an astronomer. Yeah, you take pictures of the night sky and watch everything move, and like, oh, that's the International Space Station. That's
this
the
actually
planets.
sounds a little too interesting for Chase though. Like,
That's true.
instead, I imagine that he just goes and turns on like a generic sitcom on TV and watches it and like absolutely genuinely loves it. Despite
not
it.
one of the good ones like Seinfeld or Friends. I mean, this is like some generic gonna have like 8 episodes before it's canceled because no one else is watching.
Yeah.
We have this one super boring dude named Chase, but he's just watching it. He'll watch anything. He'll watch static jump around on the screen.
I'll chase the
Hours and
Bella.
hours.
I'll chase the Bella of Echo.
Chase is, actually, that is an argument I have that Chase is just Bella,
He's
but
a
for
Uber.
Echo.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like the person that you put yourself over. Like he is a stand-in for your personality.
This is correct. He is literally a character that exists that is so bland that any decision that the player makes is a decision that everyone will see as valid.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yes,
Yep.
he is the vanilla ice cream of the world. He is
He's,
the fresh water of everything. He is the green tea of Echo.
he is our vanilla boy. Okay. I think it's a good answer, especially if you put toppings on it.
The buzzing.
Toppings are. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think toppings are too like not dull for Chase. I think toppings are too like personality trait for dull for
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah, it's like, hey Chase, what did you paint the outside of your house? Beige. What did you paint the inside of your house? White. Okay.
Do you have an accent wall or anything? No. What's that? Don't even know.
So what video games do you play? Checkers?
Tetris? Maybe not Tetris. Probably checkers. Yeah.
World of Warcraft?
Generic as generic can be.
You're kind of. The buzzing picks up, and I feel a dull pulse behind my eyes. The three of them continue to talk amongst themselves as I lean my head back against the couch. My eyes close. I close my eyes, trying to will away the pounding in my head.
I think this is referred to as the hum.
That makes sense. It's Echo waking up.
Yeah.
I open my eyes. The room is dark. Jenna is in her bed. TJ is in his. Carl wrapped up in a blanket on the floor. Camera bag, then look around wide-eyed. I sit on the bed next to TJ, stare and stare at the ground. TJ stands by the edge of the lake, staring across to the other side. He has one paw in his pocket, the other holding a beer. He takes a drink from it. TJ does not drink beer. He pulls the tab off the top, then flicks it towards the lake. It whizzes like a weed cutter, skipping across the water and kicking up spray. Suddenly his ears snap up, and he sees something I don't. He turns and starts to run. He's at a dead sprint when his leg snaps out from under him, and he falls to the rocks, beer splashing everywhere. A chain is pulled taut from the lake, connected to his ankle. I get up wanting to help him, but I can't. I look down, my wrist and ankle chained. I take a rock and I snap my wrist and my foot with it, and run out to help TJ.
I turn around and gnaw my ankle and wrist off.
I find that there's a saw in the toilet next to me, and just saw off my arm and my ankle so that I can go and help.
I see a strange clown head sticking out of the water. Wanna play a game?
Yeah, there's just a dead guy in the middle of the room we're in, for some reason.
Like a cross between Lord of the Rings at one cursed lake and Jigs and Saw.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
The sun is bright, and I'm pretty sure I can smell the fur searing on the top of my head. It's the end of March, so it's not nearly as bad as it can be, but being right under the sun like this... We've only been on the trail for about 10 minutes at this point, and I'm already regretting it.
Chase?
TJ, who's about 5 feet ahead of me, turns around. It's at this point that I realize he said something, and I have no idea what it is.
Everything okay?
Yes. Sorry, what did you say? I'm just having heat stroke. He looks concerned, but walks back to me.
Remember, if you have a headache or feel sick to your stomach, or if you start feeling like you're not yourself.
Don't worry, I'm fine. I try to give him a smile to show how true it is, but he's already in the process of unscrewing a bottle of water from his backpack. No, wait, you don't have. He dumps half of it over my head, and I hurriedly unshoulder my camera bag. Watch the equipment!
Sorry, Chase, but you're not having a heat stroke on my watch. You know, I've studied otter psychology or physiology. You guys don't do well in hot, dry environments.
He's pretty close to me, having to dump the bottle over my head. I keep holding the bag away from my body while I look down at him, water dripping from my whiskers. Otter physiology?
Yeah, it's like your body, its parts, what they do, especially the parts that are under the waist.
Oh, you mean like my intestines?
Sure. Think more south.
Oh, gluteus maximi. Yeah, I know what you mean. And like our webbed feet, right?
And the front facing parts.
Toes are in the front.
Let's just go.
James wouldn't be smart enough to figure it out.
No.
It's a little awkward that TJ knows how my body works for some reason. Huh. So, like,
Sorry.
you've studied all our parts? The attempted humor is weak in the first place, but I realized too late that I'm talking and that he probably wouldn't have laughed even if it was funny. He looks a little taken aback.
Well, yeah, but we we all have different anatomy, so it's important to.
He trails off, and I can see that he's blushing. He frowns at me.
Are you making fun of me?
What? No, I was just trying. He turns away suddenly and starts back up the trail.
We should keep going. It's an all-day hike.
I follow him quietly. It's hard to judge the type of expression he just had on his face. It wasn't exactly angry. More flustered? More flustered?
He knows you're flirting. Da, ba, ba.
I'm pretty sure it's because he knows I like guys. Even in college, my straight male friends get uncomfortable when I joke about sex. Like they think I'm coming on to them. TJ's never told me how he feels about my sexuality. In fact, I know nothing about his sexuality. In fact, I know nothing about his sexuality. I think he dated one girl in high school, but that fell apart pretty quickly. She had problems fitting in, and so he befriended her. Obviously, she took it as him liking her, so she asked him out. DJ, of course, couldn't say no. He's always on a quest to make other people happy. Anyway, he definitely isn't homophobic. He seemed really happy for me when he found out I was going out with Leo, and seemed really sad when he found out that we broke up. He doesn't exactly follow any particular Christian denomination that I know of. He hasn't even weighed in on the whole Jesus species debate. From what I can gather, TJ just likes the spirituality of the whole thing. Once Leo told me that TJ is the type of Christian that Christians always say they are, but definitely aren't. I have to agree. 2 hours later, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die. I'm practically stumbling after TJ, the Link's 15 feet ahead of me. He doesn't even notice either, cheerfully marching along up the steep trail and over the rocks as if they aren't even there. I'm dying. It's like that one friend of yours. I'm dying. I'm dying. Literally dying. My foot slips and I face plant. I lay there, waiting for TJ's god to take me.
Chase!
I hear some stumbling and TJ slides up next to my body, sending a cascade of gravel over my head.
Oh my gosh, are you okay?
I hear the telltale sounds of an unscrewing bottle. I turn my head to the side. No.
Throws it out.
A gush of water hits me right in the face, and I jerk up, sputtering and wiping at my eyes. For the love of God, TJ, stop it!
Let's get you some shade. Or let's get you to some shade.
He grabs me around the arms and starts dragging me towards a big boulder. Calm down, I can walk.
Are you sure?
Yes. I fall over again and roll down the hill. TJ's, oh!
I bounce really high into the air and scream, Mary, I can fly!
Mistakes were made!
I regret everything!
I then see I then see a lynx surrounded with a halo of light. And I think, well, all right then, fine.
Guess that settles what species Jesus was.
Yeah, I know, right? TJ's looking incredibly worried right now, hovering over me as I make my way to sit against the boulder. Huh? What? No, nothing. Yeah, I clicked on something on my other monitor by accident.
Oh.
Dude, I'm fine. I'm just tired. I don't know how you do it. TJ keeps watching me, and once I sit down, he kneels next to me, and then runs his paw through the fur on my forehead, feeling it with his paw pad.
You're a little warm. We should rest here a bit.
He takes out another bottle of water. It's like he's brought 50 of the damn things.
We should probably get your clothes wet.
I put a paw on his shoulder. TJ, calm down. I'm fine.
You sure? Because fine means frustrated, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
TJ.
Are you fine?
He stops babbling and looks me in the eye, the water bottle in one paw, the cap in the other. What's up? He looks at me for a second, then breaks eye contact, slowly screwing the cap back on the bottle.
Sorry, I just want to make sure you're okay. I'm the one that asked you to come.
Relax. I'm just being a little dramatic.
All right. If you're sure.
I am. I am.
Like, hello.
Yeah. I am.
Yeah, that's offensive.
But I could use a drink. He hands me the bottle.
Good idea. Have you been making sure to drink a lot? I have plenty.
Do you read Chase is going to follow proper hiking procedure and drink
Hell
plenty of water?
Hell no.
Yep. My piss is crystal clear.
That's actually not good. That's overhydrated.
Yeah. TJ's muzzle quirks as I take a long draft of water from the bottle. I cap it and burp. You know what? I think it's because I'm starving. When are we gonna eat?
Not yet. We have to make it to the top first. I have some granola bars, though.
Ew, dude. I'm hungry for real food. You know, can we just, like, pop some sort of restaurant here with jaundice in it and, like, get free food that way?
John, just take my order.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll just helicopter it in for you. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of Uber Eats, it's Uber Hikes.
Yeah, but I mean, Jaundice is
Jaundice.
she's pretty. So I mean, she could. No, that's right. The art
It's
does
that
not
she's fat.
match. Yeah, the art does not match her character.
She's probably like 60 years old with real, not obese, but not in shape.
Okay, sounds good. TJ, go for it.
It is real food. Anyway, it'll be so much better if we do it at the top.
Say again.
It'll be so much better if we do it at the top.
No, you're good. You're good. Next slide.
Besides, this is the hardest way. Right? Sorry. Besides, this is the hardest part, and it's almost over. It's all downhill after this. Literally.
I can tell he's getting anxious to start moving again, so I take one last gulp and get up. I don't know. I don't get how you're so damn unaffected by the heat.
Oh, I am. I'm just keeping wet.
While he talks, he starts pouring water on his shirt. It sticks slick to his torso, showing off his tight chest and flat stomach, his navel a dark indent through the fabric. I make sure I don't stare too long, not wanting to make him feel awkward again. Either way, I can feel my crotch area getting a little tight. Being in a hotel room with two other people didn't exactly give me much time to relieve stress. Maybe my straight friends did have a reason to be wary. I keep my eyes focused on TJ. I guess it's how you can keep moving like you do, here in the middle of the desert.
Well, I run a few miles on the track every day at school.
Jeez. We start up the trail again. TJ's sticking by my side now. I feel bad about holding him back, but at least now it's less likely that I'm going to eat. And you're now following proper hiking rules, where everyone goes at the same speed as the slowest person, so it makes sense.
Yeah, TJ should have slowed down a little bit, buddy.
He probably thought he was right behind him.
Are you not? Well, it is. He has a lynx with massive lynx ears. He should be able to hear if, Chase isn't right behind him.
Yeah, that's how I heard that. Oh!
TJ, I can fly! We did it!
We did it. Excellent. TJ looks over the view as I stagger up behind him. I'm not as beaten up as I was earlier, but my legs are really starting to kill me. I lean over with my paws on my knees, panting. Swimming is definitely a better way to work out. TJ turns on me abruptly, and I straighten up, smiling. He holds up both his paws, grinning.
High five!
I slap them with gusto, and TJ laughs, pulling off his backpack and sitting down on a rocky bench. I look at it, a little confused. What's this?
A rock bench. It's always been here. I think some seniors from the old school made it. See?
He scoots over, pointing at the back, and I look closer. Etched out in large letters and numbers, it says, Echo High, Class of 59.
They used to paint the year on the canyon, too. You can still see some of them.
Sure enough, I see some white lines on the canyon wall. A 52 here, a 72 there. The school closed after 1980, so I assume there's nothing after that. I sit next to him and lean my head back, closing my eyes. While the hike had been a mess, I still don't regret coming. Not just for TJ's sake, but also because there's something nice about being isolated like this. Like we're the only people on Earth. I feel a weight fall in my lap and I look down expecting to see a tasty sandwich. Instead, I find a big, fat, hairy tarantula. I freeze as my...
I said, eat up.
Yeah, I know, right? Bon appetit. I freeze as my brain processes what's going on. Then I scream and take a swipe at it, at the same time doing some sort of spastic dance to the right. I slide off the bench and onto the ground where I roll several times to get it away. Holy fucking shit! Fucking son of a... I roll to my feet and stumble back further away from the bench, eyes scanning the ground for the giant ass spider that is sure to be after me. That's when I realize TJ's laughing.
Chase, calm down. It's
He holds up the giant spider, its frozen rigidness telling me what he couldn't finish. Fake? TJ's still laughing, but I'm still hugging myself, and flinching every time I see something spindly. I'm shocked, but not because of what happened, but because TJ did it to me. TJ. I feel betrayed. I glare at him as he beckons me with a paw, wiping his eyes with the other.
I'm. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But Jenna made me promise her that I'd do it.
That figures. Jenna is the type to always play pranks, and yeah, I hate to say it, but it's because she's a fox. It's just how they are. When they play tabletop games, they're always playing illusionists and enchanters, and all this other bull.
So complicated. You can't even keep up with them.
I rub my arms up and down with my paws, shivering again. I can't believe you! You know how much I hate spiders. One of my worst fears had always been that a tarantula getting in... One of my worst fears had always been that of a tarantula getting into my room. I used to regularly shake out the bed sheets when I found out that they lived in Echo. They lived around Echo.
I'm sorry. I thought you might not even fall for it. You know the ones around here are blonde, right?
Yeah, TJ, that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I find lap. His ears do lower at that point, and he stops laughing. Though I can tell he's trying not to smile.
Listen, Chase. I'm sorry. Let's eat. I know you're hungry.
Okay, but first we're gonna hug. As punishment for that.
Oh.
Punishment. My stomach is painfully hollow right now, so I slowly walk back to the bench. I try hard not to be such a spoil sport as I reach out to take my plastic-wrapped sandwich from TJ. He squirts some hand sanitizer from a little bottle on my paws first before he lets me. We share a bag of chips and eat quietly for a few minutes, just taking in the nature. Still, even out here, I'm able to hear the train horns. I feel bad about the silence, though, since I'm worried TJ will think that I'm mad at him. I mean, I'm annoyed, but he's just too damn innocent to actually be angry with. The sun's beating straight down on us at this point, and it's uncomfortable feeling my semi-damp shirt rubbing against my fur. Setting aside my food for a moment, I strip off my shirt, the wetness giving me a bit of trouble. As I do this, TJ stiffens up next to me. I look over at him, and right away it's pretty clear that he's trying not to look at me. I wonder if TJ is just one of those guys that's embarrassed about showing any kind of fur. He only shirt to swim, and even then he always seemed embarrassed about it. At that moment, both our paws slid into the chip bag, and at the same time, TJ jumps, pulling his paw away. I look over at him, quirking an eyebrow.
Sorry.
For what?
Never mind.
I watch him take out his phone and look over his messages. Then he turns the screen off. When he turns the screen off, he pauses. I realize he's looking at his reflection, adjusting the fur on his face, pawing at both sides until he seems satisfied. Yes, yes. Clearly, this is super straight guy behavior.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do this, and I do this in my phone reflection as well when I'm surrounded by other guys. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Totally straight.
Again, this is something he did when he was much younger, back when he was obsessed with his cheek ruffs being perfectly even. I don't say anything though, and just keep eating, bouncing one of my knees up and down. Then I see a blonde, huge ass spider out of the. It's damn awkward, and I can't figure out why. Usually, it's really easy to talk to TJ, mostly because he had a lot of things to talk about. I try to think of something to say. Remember when I made fun of you for the way you used to say sorry? TJ gives me a bright, high pitched laugh, and that makes me relax, feeling like I just broke the ice on some first date.
Yeah. It's one of the first things you said to me.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I was trying so hard to fit in, and you just put me on the spot in front of everyone.
The scene plays out of my mind as TJ talks. The image of a 7-year-old lynx looking way too small for his puffy winter coat. He just backed into me while trying to catch a ball thrown by Leo and had turned around, full of smiles. Sorry. I pointed and laughed. Don't you mean sorry? That mortified look followed by what would become TJ's trademark run back to home crying.
Oh, I must have practiced that word 100 times when I got back home.
There's a little pang in my heart at the image of that kid, TJ, saying sorry over and over again, trying to get it right. Well, I'm sorry for making fun of you for it.
Why? It was so long ago. Besides, you were just assimilating me into the culture. Sort of.
It makes you feel better. Leo did get mad at me after you ran away. TJ's having trouble keeping his lettuce wrapped turkey together.
So, are you and him, doing alright?
I think so. We had a good talk a few days ago.
That's good.
He gives up on holding the wrap together and instead just starts picking out the remnants from the plastic.
Were you lonely after you left?
I try not to act surprised that TJ's asking me these questions. Yeah, really lonely. Had a terrible first semester.
Ah. What about now?
Kind of. Kind of. I guess I just haven't been able to find someone I could connect with like I did Leo. Then again, the GSA at the university is practically dead, so that's the Gay Straight Alliance. For those of you who don't know, it's sometimes referred to as the QSA, the Queer Straight Alliance, and I guess it can have other names as well. I've never heard it called the LGBTQSA. That seems odd. But hey, who knows? Maybe it's called that somewhere. Where I went to college, it wasn't called that. Then again, the GSA at my university is practically dead, so who knows? Maybe after I graduate. We eat in silence for a little while longer, and though it's less awkward, I'm still trying to figure out what brought TJ to ask me those questions. Chase, you truly are completely 100%, a billion percent clueless, aren't you? Why don't you just slide next to your friend and hug him and tell him, well, you're going to the same college, right?
Hmm.
I
And
crumple
while
up.
you're at it, put your leg across his leg. See how he reacts.
You'd probably just crush his leg. I'm like, look, TJ's very clearly not a top. Chase is very clearly not a top either. This means they're just going to cuddle for like forever before anything happens. That's just how this works out. I crumple up the plastic and toss it in my backpack before getting up. All right, now I gotta find a good view to get my shots. Shouldn't take too long.
Oh, there's a great view of the canyon just up the trail there.
He gestures in that direction with a half-eaten wrap. I wave to let him know I heard and make my way up the trail. A town's namesake isn't much of a canyon. You probably wouldn't even realize it is a canyon without being told. I sidle up as close to the edge as I'm willing, taking a look over the side. Feet press pebbles over the side. They clatter down the edge of the cliff. It's dizzying. I dig my toes into the rock, feeling as if I'm going to trip over. Tears and rain mingle. Finally letting go, going limp. Wind giving the final push. I back away. Impact instead of release. Pain. I feel the buzzing starting up in my head again, and I sigh as I bend over and reach into my camera bag. I also take all of my antipsychotics so this voice goes away. Again, now I'm just imagining Chase was like, it's like someone just walks up there like, oh man, there's a huzzing, it's a humming sound again. Why did I take the entire bottle?
The whole bottle.
I,
Start tripping out a whole different way.
I assume that would not be a good thing.
Probably not. No.
That's supposed to last you for a month. Yeah, I don't know what that would do. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are on antipsychotics or antidepressants, do not take the entire bottle. If you start hearing a humming sound, probably not be good. But if you are going to, talk to your psychologist first or your psychiatrist.
Yes, you're a psychiatrist.
Yeah, let them know that you're thinking about this.
At least get an idea of what's going to happen if you do that.
Yeah,
They can tell you.
Yeah, also, if you're going to tell your psychiatrist that you're going to just take an entire bottle of pills all at once, just make sure that you don't have anything planned for the next, 7 days.
You will be getting forced into some facility of some sort.
Yeah. 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 Most likely. I almost wish I could stay here until sunset, since the canyon would be a great backdrop for it. But I definitely don't want to hike back in the middle of the night. It doesn't take long. About 5 minutes later, I've gotten all the footage I need. Hiking all this way definitely isn't worth it, but of course, that's not the reason why I did it.
You finished?
TJ walks up behind me as I bend over to put my camera away. Yep. He hands me a bottle of water and I take it from him gratefully, pouring it over my head and chest, the fur flattened down all over my body. TJ looks at my torso, his muzzle quirking at the corner a bit.
You know, you kind of look like Jared Grizz.
I raise an eyebrow at him. This survivalist from the Wilderness Channel? What, just because I'm not out in the wilderness and shirtless?
Well,
You saying all otters look the same?
no. I mean, not just because you're an otter. I mean, your buddies are.
What do you mean by you otters?
I mean,
Again, TJ's got me questioning certain things about him. TJ, I'm kidding.
no. Yeah, right. Of course.
He rubs his shoulders sheepishly as he slowly walks up the edge next to me.
Wow.
He gets closer to the cliff, though he does it in a manner in which he's spread out, he's spread out his legs and arms, bracing himself against the ground. He peers over the side, looking absolutely ridiculous.
We're up so high.
I smirk, sneaking up behind him. Yeah, we're not gonna shove him. We'll grab him, though.
I will grab him, get him back.
Yeah. Gotcha. I grin and suddenly slap both my paws on his shoulders.
Ah!
He fluffs up to twice his size almost immediately and flails around like a cartoon. Though I'm sure to keep my grip firmly on his shoulders, one of his windmilling paws catches me in the stomach. My laugh is cut off in a grunt, and I quickly pull him back before he can accidentally launch himself off the cliff. Jesus, TJ, calm down. His waving paws finally catch on to my fur, and before I know it, his arms are wrapped around my body. I stumble back, clinging to him as well. We stand like that for a few seconds, and I can't help but feel guilty. And I can't help but guiltily feel a little bit tight in my pants again. It doesn't last long, though, and soon TJ lets go and swats me on the chest with the back of his paw.
Fucking bitch. Are you kidding me, TJ? How could you?
Chase. I respond, but I'm busy trying to stop laughing. TJ wipes his paw on his pants.
There's a wet stain on his pants. You got all your sweat on me.
Hey, you didn't think I'd get you didn't think I'd get you back after the tarantula prank.
It wasn't real. We could have died.
Calm down, you're safe now. I put a paw around his shoulders and pull him close. He tenses up but does relax after a few seconds.
You're all wet and sweaty.
You'll air dry. We stand there for a while, not really ready to head back yet. That's when TJ lets out a sudden, loud yell that almost makes me jump out of my fur.
Okay, before we do that, I actually want to go back and save because I want to see what happens if we do push him. So I think we could save and then go back to that. You fine with that?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and save here. Then we shove TJ off the cliff, and...
Yeah, there we go. Okay. I smirk, sneaking up behind him. I'm going to save.
It'd be funny if, like, we go and, like, try to push him, and then he just, like, lurches out of the way and we go flying off the cliff and die. All
yeah,
right,
like
fine.
he's... So we'll just do... Are we going to do grab him, or you want to do shove him now?
We did grab him before, so I guess we'll do shove now.
Okay.
Lingering for days, white bone picks through skin, maggots feeding off the living. What? The game says, what the hell is wrong with you?
You're gonna murder your friend. What the?
The game is just like with you.
This should be on like a Watch Mojo list or something. It's just like, how could you?
I guess we'll do nothing and quickly go
Shoot.
through it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's tempting as hell, but I'm worried scaring the cat might make him jump right off the cliff. Instead, I stand next to him and look out over the small canyon. We stand there a while, not really ready to head back yet. That's when TJ lets out a sudden loud yell that makes me jump out of my fur. Okay, let's load the other one that we had taken before.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that it's where we were after we grabbed him. So yeah! I put both paws over my ears. TJ, what the frick? He frowns.
Oops.
Now what? Where's the echo?
Grab him. Okay. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay. Where's the echo?
The what? Huh?
It's called Echo Canyon. Isn't it supposed to echo?
Oh, Hey! I yell too. TJ lowering his ears a bit as we wait for the response. His ears perk.
I think I heard it.
Maybe we're just in the wrong area.
We're like right in front of it.
TJ leans forward and, as if that will help, and cups his paws around his muzzle before yelling out as loud as he can.
Yeah.
Yep, he just goes over there and he's like, Ooka chaka, ooka chaka, ooka.
I can't stop this feeling.
As Chase is grabbing me. This time I do hear a return. It's muffled, scratchy, ugly, but it's an echo, alright. DJ makes a face.
That sounded kind of creepy.
Yeah, no, it's only the Hasselhoff. Well, what did you expect? Everything crappy here. Including echoes. Blah. Bleep. Again, we're answered with a raspy, ugly response. My voice twisted and distorted.
Seems a bit silly to name the entire town after that.
I think it fits. I grunt a little as I sit down, spreading out my legs with a sigh. TJ does the same, except with his legs crossed.
You really hate this place, don't you?
Oh, yeah. He looks sideways at me. You don't?
Of course not. All of my best friends are from here. I mean, some of it's bad, some of it is bad, but why let the bad taint the good?
I make a non-committal grunting sound, thinking about how you could just cut the bad out of the good and, have a better life.
Yeah. I wish we all could have come up here.
He really does look disappointed, and I feel bad about that. What? I'm not good enough. TJ giggles.
I really am glad you came. It means a lot. It would have been pretty lonely otherwise.
I look over at him, and he's giving me the eye. His powder blue gaze is really pretty, with the sunlight hitting it like that. He's smiling and I smile back. Suddenly, his phone buzzes. He breaks eye contact to adjust his sitting position so he can get it out of his pocket.
Probably Jenna checking in on.
I turn to look back at him while he goes quiet. He's furrowing his brow at the phone, as if trying to figure out what it says. Everything alright? Slowly his face relaxes, but now his expression is dull, his eyes glazed over. TJ? I start to lean sideways to get a look at what the message might be, but TJ quickly shoves it back into his pocket.
Nothing. Just a long message from my mom.
Don't you be out there kissing all the boys, TJ. That's sinful behavior, and we'll send you right back to the camp. Yeah, if I was TJ, I'd want to get the hell out of there, too.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell right away he's lying, which is because I don't know TJ. I don't think TJ's ever lied to me. At least not so easily. Is it bad?
No, just something about when I come home for the summer.
Oh, okay. It's weird because I know he's lying and he probably knows he's lying. He probably knows that I know he's lying. But still, here we are, playing along. He stares quietly at the canyon for a few seconds, then gets up, brushes himself off, looks over the side at the dirt, looks at me, looks at the dirt.
All right, let's go.
The cheerfulness in his voice is forced, but it just sounds like he's about to cry.
Like I said, it's all downhill from here. Literally.
There's this thing that TJ should do, which is called move to the city, because then he will find his people, and he will be very happy. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you are presumably young, maybe not, but if you are a gay person, if you're part of the LGBTQ community, and you are isolated somewhere, you know, like on some crappy East Coast city or something, and your parents do not accept you, know that you can always move to the city. Now, that might not be, you know, Atlanta. They might not have a good population. But if you head to the West Coast, you will find your people, and they will accept you with wide open arms. We even have gay bars. It's fantastic. You should go there. You'll have a great time. He turns away quickly and starts back down the trail, wiping his face. I hang back, wanting to give him time to get over whatever it is that's bothering him. I wonder if it's something to do with family, like a grandparent passing away or something. I'd feel too intrusive asking about it now, so I decide to put it off until tomorrow. The hike back is, like TJ said, literally downhill, so it's way easier than coming up. TJ's still a little overbearing, making sure I have water and dumping a few unsolicited bottles on my head. Some of that might be from grabbing him, but I'm just going to assume that he's doing it in good faith. Except for that one time. You know, wasn't paying attention and then water in the face. Even then, he's still acting a bit detached. I try to stay upbeat, though, and since TJ's never been one to sulk for long, I get him warmed back up pretty quick. By the time we get back to the car, he's in a talkative mood again. So, I'm thinking we get Jenna and go to the diner for dinner. Sound good?
Sure, I'll text her.
I reach out to turn on the radio, then I remember where we are. So, now that we've got hiking out of the way, what are we gonna do for the rest of the trip? We've got like 3 days left. TJ rests his elbow against the door, tugging at the fur on his chin.
Well, there are more trails than just that one. We could hike those too.
I cringe inwardly at the thought of more hiking, but I don't say anything, and I'm pretty sure TJ knows I'm not into it.
But you still need to do stuff for your project too, right? I could help you with any research you might need to do.
Maybe. It's pretty boring stuff.
Well, the work, yeah. But hanging out together would make it fun.
I grin at his eagerness. I can hear Leo in the background. Chula.
No, Jola, no. Spend time with me.
It was the entire reason I set this all up.
I want my other hole back.
Well, alright, but I warn you. It's a pain in the ass. But. TJ smirks at me.
Chase, you don't have to try so hard. Anyway, I just want to help.
Turns out Jenna just walked from the motel to the diner, not really wanting to wait for us. Me and TJ step inside, greeted by the smell of what you'd expect at any diner: burgers and fries. I'm flooded with old memories. It's a place that I had gone to eat every weekend for over 10 years of my life. That's why I look the way I do.
That as hell.
Leo eats there literally every day. That's why he looks the way he does. I smiled.
As hell.
I smiled, despite myself. While I complained a lot about Echo, this place held incredibly happy memories for me, most of which involved my 5 friends. We see Jenna right away as she steps out from a booth next to the door.
Hey, boys. Hey.
Sup? We make our way over to the booth. TJ's sitting on the opposite bench while Jenna steps back to let me pass and sit next to her. She wrinkles her nose as I do.
Woo! Maybe you should have showered before you got here.
Thanks, Jenna. TJ probably smells too.
Nah, he smells fine.
Of course he does.
Thanks, Jenna. And don't blame Chase. Otters are, naturally musky.
I decide to not say anything instead pull a menu out from the metal holder and flip through it. The table is greasy, so I do not try to lean anything on it.
So, did you guys have fun? Yeah, made it all the way to the top. We did it faster than I thought we would. Did you... You know? Yeah. He really freaked out. I knew it! Did you film it? No. What? That's the reason you pull pranks. Why didn't you film it? I forgot.
I glare at the menu. Shouldn't let her corrupt you so easily, TJ. I try to think of some Satan metaphor that I can use, but that's when the giant plastic spider lands with a smack on top of the menu I'm looking at. Ah! Wait, it's like so Patrick Rothfuss. He was at some PAX convention. They were playing D&D with one of the guys from Wizards of the Coast and the Penny Arcade guys, and they got turned into children, into babies basically. And Patrick Rothfuss's character, Viari, I think his name was. They all got phobias as children, so it's just like, and Pat, your character has phallophobia, fear of penises. so Patrick's like, oh, and so he pantomimes like he looks down at his crotch and he goes, oh. It's hilarious.
Get it off!
Oh no! I mean, pulls out a dagger. Don't need that.
Hey, remember the gamers? They're
Yeah.
like, they get to the beach or they get to the river. He's like, dude, aren't you forgetting something? Like what? You know, your crippling fear of water. Oh yeah.
Just start
They
screaming and they have
drag
to
him
drag
away.
him away. Ah!
Just suddenly remembers he's hydrophobic or whatever.
Yeah. I can't help myself and shove the menu. The spider, shove the menu and the spider away from myself and fall over onto TJ's. I look up and Jenna's filming me with her phone, grinning. Stop it! I half-heartedly grab at the phone, but Jenna easily pulls it away. Oh my word! Is that Chase? I look up to see a middle-aged coyote making her way back from the kitchen and around the counter.
Hi, Janice. I'm sorry. Hi, Jaundice.
And Jenna and Tobias, too. I
Did you want me
smile.
to do Jaundice?
Nah, I can do it.
Okay.
I smile
Yeah, you
politely.
can.
Oh. Probably does drugs and stuff.
No. Oh.
I smile politely, only now realizing how loud our bantering must have been in the small diner. Now what in the world are y'all doing back here? People leave back here, they don't come back. Thought we wouldn't see you again after your graduation. I've known Jaundice as long as I can remember. Her always having worked in this diner. In fact, she started when she was about our age. Just like most of the people in town, though, once you're comfortable, you don't move much.
Chase is filming the town for a school project. We decided to make a little reunion out of it.
Well, isn't that nice? I'll bet Leo's mighty happy. He's been talking non-stop about you three since y'all left.
Yeah, he pretty much organized the whole thing.
Jaundice suddenly makes a face. Pew-wee! That's ripe over there. My face burns and I sit harder on my tail, staring at the menu. You know, I think Duke sat here. Forgot to spray some scent neutralizer. You know how weasels are.
Yeah, it's certainly not my hike-induced swamp ass.
No, totally not. I feel Jiffin stiffen up next to me, but thank God she doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Anyway, how have you been, Jaundice?
Jaundice leans her hip against TJ's bench, clasping her paws and leaning an elbow on the back of it. Oh, can't complain. You haven't missed anything, trust me. Actually, I've been meaning to do a little spring cleaning. Not looking forward to it. My back doesn't bend like it always did. All the small talk niceties, and speciesism is starting to make me zone out when TJ suddenly pipes up.
Will help.
Jaundice beams. Well, I could never ask that of you, especially while you're on vacation. TJ chuckles.
Actually, me and Chase were talking about how we had nothing to do. I think it's a good idea. I'll just volunteer us both.
Yeah. I can see from Jenna's tight smile that she's feeling exactly the way I am. TJ and his goddamn need to be a good Samaritan. Oh, Tobias, you're an incredible young man. You know that.
Just wanting to be of help, ma'am. When can we come over?
Oh, I don't know. How does sometime tomorrow evening sound? When it'll be nice and cool.
Sure.
Well, thanks again, Toby. You're really one of the good kind. You're really one of a kind. TJ beams up at her, then at me, then frowns as he sees the look on my face. Now, what can I get for you? After Janice takes our order, she bustles off back to the back, leaving me and Jenna to glare at TJ. TJ at first pretends he doesn't notice and starts to adjust the salt and pepper shakers, trying to place them evenly between the menu holders.
That was nice seeing her again.
We don't say anything. Finally, the tension becomes too much, and he gives up on the salt and pepper shakers to look up at us.
What? You know exactly what. We didn't come here to clean up Echo's mess. Speaking of which...
Jenna reaches past me to grab a towelette and starts wiping our table, wrinkling her snout.
Disgusting. There's no harm in helping someone. Chase, you told me you didn't know what else we do.
TJ starts to doodle on a napkin and with one of the coloring pencils from the pack they leave on the tables. Honestly, rather hike another trail.
Please don't. I'm marinating in your otter musk right now.
God damn it.
Chase!
Glaring, I nudge Jenna to slide off the bench so I can get out. When she does, I stomp my way over to the single restroom. I sigh as I let the heavy door ease shut behind me, pressing on the push button style lock. The quiet coolness is a welcome relief, even if it is a restroom. I put my palms over my eyes and rub them in a circular motion, trying to ease the headache that has been building since the afternoon. I stand in front of the sink and rub my paws under the faucet for a while before bringing some water up to my face. It feels good, but the headache continues to pound. In fact, it feels like it's getting worse. I squint at the mirror, the light suddenly becoming too bright for my eyes. Is this a migraine?
Man, that would suck.
Never had one before, have I? I continue staring at my face, feeling the pressure build. Pretty soon, there's a strange sound in my ears, like a tuning orchestra. I feel my heart rate start to pick up.
Oh shit, we're hearing it. The same thing he's hearing, we're hearing.
You're hearing what he's hearing. We're hearing it. Wait. They're possessing him. And then they're gonna possess me. Oh my god!
Oh no! You know, this reminds me of something else. Super hot. Time only moves when you move. I don't know why it reminds me of that.
This is mind control. Super hot. Super hot. What the hell is this? Is stroke? Am I having a stroke?
Oh, there you go.
At that moment, looking at myself in the mirror, my eyes just drop.
On one side.
They move in towards the center of my face. At the same time, the sides of my muzzle curve up unbelievably high, giving me a ghastly smile, one that goes up and up past the top of my head. Fleetingly, I remember playing with my laptop's camera once, putting on some effects so that my face would distort in ridiculous ways. It looks almost exactly like that. Then the earth gives way, falling out from under me, and my paws slap the sink as I hold on to it to stop from falling sideways into the wall. My voice squeaks as I try to find my footing. I shut my eyes to stop myself from throwing up, and suddenly the roaring dies down, and I feel myself regaining my balance. I crack my eyes open and see that my face is back to normal. The light's at a tolerable level again. I open my eyes the rest of the way and stare at myself, my reflection staring wide-eyed back. I'm breathing hard, my chest heaving, pupils dilated. Looking down at my knuckles, I see the skin is white through the fur. I slowly let go of the sink and look at my shaking paws. What the hell? My muzzle is dry and I swallow a few times. I'd take a drink, but I don't trust the dirty faucet. After a few moments, I'm able to calm down and realize that I'm probably not dying. In fact, my head feels pretty clear at the moment. I'm pretty sure it was a migraine. Migraines can do that to people, right? I draw in a shaky breath again before grabbing a few paper towels from the dispenser. I run them lightly under the water, adding a few pumps of foamy soap as well. Mom has migraines all the time. I'll call her about it tomorrow. Able to keep my paws steady now, I run the soaped-up towel under my arms a few times. After a quick look to make sure the door is locked, I undo my belt and push down my pants and boxers. Push my pants and boxers around my thighs. If I really do want to take care of the musk smell, I'm gonna have to go down under. I run a few more paper towels under the faucet and soap dispenser. Just as I'm sliding the towel against my tail base, I hear a knock, and the lever-style door handle rattles. I jump back and look, not really worried since I know it's locked, because this place is a fucking piece of shit. I'm just in time to see the button lock pop out. The handle swings down, and the door opens enough for a lynx head to poke through. There I am, pants down, paper towel under my tail, looking like I'm wiping my ass while I moon my Christian best friend. I think we stay like that for at least 10 seconds before TJ blinks first.
Oh yeah, sorry.
He squeaks it out He squeaks it out so fast I can barely hear it before he yanks his head out and the door closes with a snap. Fucking. I snarl between my teeth as I scrub myself and throw away the towel. I feel like I'm gonna cry. It's like the entire universe is conspiring against me right now. I sigh and wash my hands, realizing that the longer I delay going out there, the stupider I'm gonna look. When I come back out, I see TJ stand up immediately, eyes straight ahead as we walk past each other, before he heads into the bathroom. Jenna stands up to let me back into the booth.
Everything all right?
Yep. We sit back down. As we sit back down, Jenna sips from her glass of water, then starts sucking on an ice cube.
So, I know TJ had fun, but did you?
I drum my fingers on the table, still feeling a bit numb from embarrassment. Yeah, it was fine. About as miserable as I thought it would be, so no surprises.
Honestly, honestly, I kind of wish I'd gone with you two.
Oh, yeah?
Then I remembered that AC is a thing, so I didn't feel that way anymore.
At least you're built for that kind of weather.
True. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
So, what'd you do? Sit around all day?
I studied for a while, then Flynn and Leo came by, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wanted to have lunch with us. Leo was pretty disappointed when he found out you weren't there.
Huh.
They brought a bunch of presents for Carl and had me when I wanted to give him.
How thoughtful. Jenna shrugs.
Anyway, Flynn was pretty quiet.
She doesn't say anything more, so I press her. Oh?
Yeah, just kind of subdued. I guess he might be feeling sorry? I don't know.
Well, here's hoping he comes around.
Anyway, they're planning a surprise birthday party for Carl.
Isn't that not for a few weeks?
Yeah, but we want to have it while we're all here.
Jenna drags a drop of condensation around the outside of her glass for a moment.
Just between you and me. And don't tell TJ this, because I told him I wouldn't tell you. But he said he was really glad to have you. He says you're what he misses most about this town.
Really? That kind of surprises me. We're actually good friends, but to say I was what he missed most. I look outside. Again, the sky is painted red, orange, and what almost looks like purple. By the way, guys, purple in the sky is pollution. Fun tip.
So it's close to a big city. LA.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Hello, Bakersfield.
Hello, pollution. I mean, Peyton.
Mm-hmm. He drew this so I could see what happened when he pranked you, to make up for not recording it.
I look back down at the table as Jenna slides over a napkin TJ had been doodling on. A stick figure with a thick tail, I assume me, is lying on the ground, his mouth bigger than his face. As he screams. Next to him is a giant spider. Standing over them both is a stick figure with big tufted ears. I assume TJ, with its stick arms up over its face, clearly feeling guilty. Cute.
Isn't it, though?
Despite my sarcasm, I really do think it's cute, especially the TJ figure.
Shit.
What?
Got my purse.
She stands up.
I'll be right back.
Oh, why? I'll pay for you.
Don't worry about it. The motel's like 5 minutes away.
You can pay me back. But she's already out the door. I sigh, watching her make her way down the road through the window. That's when TJ slides back onto his bench. I quickly look down, feeling my cheeks burn all over again.
Sorry about taking in the view for like 10 seconds. I just wanted to see your ass.
I assume he was just in shock, like, oh, this is what this feels like. I mean, bye.
He was just like...
Then he comes out, and Jenna's just smirking at him like, hey, TJ, you should buy bigger pants. Those look kind of tight on you. And he's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Rub it out, rub it out, rub it out.
No. Wait.
That's what you do with the other kind of wrinkles.
Why does this feel so good? Why does this feel so good? But why is this so sinful?
Sorry about that. Just wanted to wash up too.
I don't know why. Considering TJ looks kempt no matter what he does, I force myself to look up. Funny drawing. He looks at the napkin and gives a little laugh.
Oh, ha ha ha. She showed you that. She showed that to you. Wait, where'd she go?
Forgot her purse.
Oh.
We sit there in unbearably awkward silence for a little while before I finally sigh and lean my face against a paw as I stare hard out the window. Okay, so I wasn't wiping my ass. You know otters have glands.
Yes.
I look over at TJ and he's smiling.
I know, I shouldn't have opened the door. You were just taking a while, and
You were just taking a while?
oh, you didn't get the rest of that?
No.
I know, I shouldn't have opened the door, but you were just taking a while, and we were wondering if you.
Alright, I got, and we were wondering if.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Someone might be running a microwave near your laptop since you're on Wi-Fi.
Maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna check this out. I know. I shouldn't have opened the door. You were just taking a while, and we were wondering if you were all right.
I look up as I see Jaundice making her way over, our food on a giant tray. I guess it's really the lock's fault. Oh, having problems with the restroom door? Make sure it's jammed shut real tight. Should lock then. Thanks. As the plates are set down, I'm faintly surprised at the portion sizes. I'm not used to getting this much in the city. Jaundice immediately bustles off to another customer.
And you know,
I look up from my giant sandwich and fries, grabbing the ketchup bottle.
it was kind of cute.
TJ immediately looks down, pretending to read the menu, even though we've already ordered our food. I feel like my brows are almost going to shoot off my forehead as I stare at him.
What does Applewood smoked even mean?
Oh no, you're not getting off that easy. Did you just call my butt cute?
No!
TJ's ears fall flat, and I'm glad that he's the one feeling embarrassed right now.
I just like. Otters have cute tails, that's all.
I snort. You want to inspect it more closely?
One
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah, I can see that by the way you drew me there.
Sorry.
Don't be. So yeah, I'm testing out the waters here. It's been a while since I played this game with a guy, and the next one would be TJ, but here I am. I keep looking over at TJ, waiting for him to look up. Finally, he does look up at me, and for a moment, he does look up at me for a moment, and we lock eyes. I smirk and he smiles in return before looking back down. Well, that's something. I sit on a big rock next to the shore, watching the tiny waves lap at the smaller rocks. Across the lake, maybe half a mile away, I see my friends, all of them, floating on something. It's my car. They're in my car. Leo's driving. He's got sunglasses on. Even from the distance, I see him look across the lake at me. He waves, then makes finger guns, then makes a finger gun and shoots at me, making a clicking sound with his tongue. Flynn sits next to him, head back, sleeping. Carl's drawing on his face. Jen is sitting in the back and reading, and reads. And TJ, where's TJ? There he is, swimming after the car. Colors fall flat. I feel sticky and sick. Something isn't right. I'm at the canyon again, and I'm looking over the edge. TJ's on the ground, staring up at me. maggots in his eyes. Something moves in the bushes next to him. Something. A paw? Is that a paw? It reaches out towards TJ. The lake. I'm staring at the lake, but the day is clear. The sky is blue and there are things in the water. 5, 6 foot, just 5, 6 things float in the water. Bodies float in the water. They all float down here. I watch the bodies float, bobbing up and down, and one looks really familiar. This isn't right. This isn't me. What is this? Something across the lake. I see something across the lake. There's a tool shed. A tool shed across the lake, and I see the door open. There isn't a tool shed next to the lake. Something steps out.